Than me?
You are on, my friend. You're good.
I'm on?
You're on.
I'm famous? I'm on Facebook?
You're live. Facebook.
Oh my
For
goodness.
the World Wide Web to see you.
The World Wide Web Facebook style.
Yeah, right.
What day is it today? Thursday?
Thursday.
Throwback Thursday?
Throwback Thursday. This is the Throwback Thursday episode.
All right. We're about 30 seconds in. I'm getting ready to start. We got about 9.5 minutes for me to get my stuff together. I'm not going to swear in the pre-show. My wife tells me I swear too much on the show and not in real life. So I'm going to get my stuff together. So welcome, everybody. I got Jason and I got Derek in the backgrounds. I don't know if you can hear them talk.
Hello, everyone.
You guys are live back there?
We're here.
It's Jason?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, can they hear you, Derek? All right. Derek can hear me and I can hear him. So hopefully y'all can hear him. The picture that you're seeing right now is a property that's we have listed over there off of Cholla and Scottsdale Road. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,300 square foot ranch-style house with a 3-car garage, a pool, a horse stall, a slide to the pool, a diving board to the pool, a fire pit, a gazebo. All of this for $750,000. It's been listed on the market for about 5 days now. So I think there will be an open house this weekend too if anybody's interested. But it's a total remodeled house, as you can see, the open floor concept and the updated everything. The roof was already updated like 2 years ago, so we didn't touch the roof, but everything else looks pretty on it.
Hey, yeah, this episode is all about credit, so stick around for credit. We're going to have some great tips about credit, and we've got an expert who is voted. What was the designation there, Derek? Remind me, it was your number one credit?
Best credit counseling service in Scottsdale for the past 3 years.
There you go. So we've got an industry leader right here in our community who's going to talk to us about credit and things that you need to know about credit. Credit seems, we had in the show before, one of the hurdles, one of the major fears for individuals when applying for a mortgage or trying to get a house is the rejection. And credit is a big part of that rejection. So we've got a credit expert here today to talk to us about that. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Pretty good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes. So Derek, are you in the Facebook now?
I am. I don't see the link yet.
Okay. I would say go to 22 minutes with Jason and Stephen.
I'm sharing it right now and I'm tagging you, Derek. So I think it'll show up on your timeline. What do you think?
Perfect.
And then from there, I would go to the main one, not all of the ones that he's sharing, but the 22 minutes to put the website on. 7 minutes to go. Geez, and I haven't even started. Throwback Thursday, talking about credit solutions and credit counseling. I'll spell counseling. It's like credit. Why don't I know how to spell counseling? COUNSEL? Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm on the page right now. 22 minutes. So
yes. All right. So scroll down. The first one will be our VA. We have our VA show at the top, which was a pretty popular one, so we want to keep that tagged at the top. If you scroll down right below, that is the one that we're doing right now. I should say this is the hashtag Throwback Thursday episode.
Yep. Good. All right.
So
cool.
that's what. From there, you can share it if you like. Share it to your people.
Okay.
Or and then because that's what we're doing right now is we're sharing it to our websites that we work with, and then the comment section you can write that comment in there.
Perfect. Cool.
Yes. Sharing it out here. I've shared it out to quite a few people in the groups. And if you have any groups or anything like that you're a part of, Derek, you can share it in those groups too. I don't know if you
I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah. And you don't have to do it now. You can do it later. But it's kind of cool.
Well, if we do it now, then they can respond to him now. Because if he does it later, then any questions they might have. So what we like to do is we like to monitor too in case people have questions that are live. So I'm going to write. What I do is I write a paragraph or something saying what we're doing. I'm talking about credit solutions and credit counseling, and the many questions we get with us live is the number one credit guy in Scottsdale, Arizona. Kind of a big deal. So if you have credit questions, watch.
This is the show for you.
Yes. Because this is the show. Weird when I talk, the music stops, like in my ear.
Yes, again, everyone that's joining us here, we're sharing this with our friends and family. Got about 4 minutes left here. But this show is Throwback Thursday of 22 minutes, and we have an industry leader here in our community who's going to talk to us about credit. So it should be pretty good. So if you've got credit questions or have questions about your particular situation, which is very personal, right? I mean, credit's kind of personal. Right. But if you have like a scenario or something that maybe you've run across or maybe just isn't sitting right with you, please write your comments in the post below, and we'll be sure to try to address them for you.
You know, I would say, the biggest thing is, credit. People always don't need it until they need it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like,
right.
Trying to get into the gym, the first thing you got to do is step on the scale. And in the credit world, the first thing you need to do is, you just need to check your 3 credit scores. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I know there's a big fear involved with that. So it is very important because it not only affects us through our car insurance, our homeowners insurance, credit card interest rates, mortgage rates, right? I mean,
right.
Kind of dictates everything we do, unless you're a cash buyer, which, I prefer to leverage credit if you can, because you can make money off of credit too, which is a really cool insight that a lot of people just don't realize.
Absolutely.
All right. I like it. Good teaser for the rest of the show. So we have 22 minutes, Derek, giving away all our secrets.
Yeah.
I'm almost done. I've shared it to I think 6 of my the groups that I share to, and let's see. I think I got like 99 problems, and credit is one. Credit is definitely one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 3 minutes away from this show going live. My name is Stephen Cotton. What you see is one of our listings over there in Scottsdale. Today we're going to be talking to a credit expert in the field of credit counseling. Is that the Credit Absolute is the name of the company, but what is your title?
Credit
yeah, we do credit counseling and education, correct?
And education. There we go, the education part. That's the part I was missing. Yes. I wasn't educated on the education part of the laundry. My live is getting all pixelated here. I don't know if everybody else's. Is that just mine on the when I'm looking at?
Mine looks,
Jason's looking a little pixelated, but I'm good.
Yeah, mine looks.
Right,
mine looks good.
Yep.
It is working hard, man. My computer's working hard.
So when I click on my Facebook, it's okay. It got back to normal. Okay, we're all right.
It's working hard. It's working hard.
It's working hard for his money. So hard for his money. I'm just kidding. I should have done a thing with this property. I put it on my Facebook, a bunch of before and after pictures of the slideshow here, Derek, and we got probably 30 some comments on it, because it's a beautiful restoration. But I wish I could have a counter for that, because there's like so many comments and so many people watching it over and over, But it's not live, so it doesn't count.
Oh, gotcha. Here.
All right.
I say the show. Mine says 2 minutes, but I think I'm behind, right?
Yeah, you're behind a little bit.
Minute 23, minute 10.
My goodness.
Yeah, we're actually at about 40 seconds here, and we'll get this.
All right, we're getting close, y'all. I'm gonna like it. Just to get a like in there, because I never like it.
All right.
I don't see the comment. I didn't see that if you put it in there, Derek. It's not showing on the 22 minutes comment section yet.
I did.
Let me see.
Side there. All right.
All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. We're going to be starting in about 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
We're
we at?
ready. Let's get this thing going here.
All right.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of 22 Minutes. I am Jason Bates, bringing you the lender side of things for this show, and he is Mr. Stephen Cotton, and he is bringing us the realtor side of things for the show. And together, we hope to not only entertain you, but also bring you valuable content that you can use when you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance property here in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. So if you're looking to do any one of those three things, please reach out to us. We would love to be your team of choice. So please reach out to us. Hey, we're pretty excited today. This is we've got another guest on the show today, and we've got a lot of questions, a lot of things. This is a hot topic. But before we do that, let's what do you say? Get to the tweet quote of the day. What do you say, Stefan?
Sure. I say yes.
Let's get
My
to
life
that.
isn't complete until the birds start tweeting.
Yeah, deep tweets, man. Here we go. All right. There we go. Deep tweets here. Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you're doing. This is brought to us by Pele, the great soccer player. Pele. Great soccer player. Now, I thought this was appropriate because what we're going to talk about today is a lot of hard work. It's not easy. It's not an easy road to go. And we're going to talk about credit today. So credit is a big deal for a lot of people. We talked about in the news thing, I think it was news, right? Top's news stories on Monday about people and their hesitancy in applying for credit because their fear of getting rejected or turned down.
Right. So don't even try.
Yeah. So why even try? Right. Exactly.
Did I ever tell you that? Did I ever tell you that time about the book of The Power of Positive Thinking? So I was at the Barnes and Noble. It was like Christmas time. There's like a line of like 5 people.
Yeah.
In front, maybe 9. And I had this book, The Power of Positive Thinking. I was like, oh man, this book's gonna be great. And then by the time I got to my line, because it took a long time, by the time it got to me, I was like, you know what? Probably not gonna work anyway. So then I just put it down and walked out.
There you go.
That's the power of negative thinking.
Yeah, power of negative thinking. Don't give up. Don't give up. And we don't want you to give up. If you're wanting to buy a house and that's one of your New Year's resolutions, we want to give you the tools to do that. So with that being said, let's get to Throwback Thursday and to our guest here. What do you say?
Perfect.
And there he is. Mr. Derek Vogel is our guest today. How you doing, Derek?
Doing well. Good morning, guys.
Good. He's with Credit Absolute. They are a local company. Just to give you a little feedback or a little background here on Derek, he's the CEO of Credit Absolute, which is a credit education and counseling service.
Yeah, I had the counseling, and you had the educations.
You're the yin to
together. We got it,
Stefan.
Right. The yin.
More of a mentorship, right? You like to mentor people.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Now I've got Derek's number below his below his camera angle there. So if you want to reach out to him, you can certainly do that. You can also right above us here, go to his Facebook business page and contact him that way too. So if you have credit needs out there, reach out to him. He's definitely the one to help for sure.
He was the number 1 guy last year, right? Like the number 1.
Voted. What were you? You were voted top better business.
Yeah, we got best credit counseling service and education in Scottsdale for the past 3 years. So it's been a blessing, and we feel honored. Just recently got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau organically. So I don't pay for the rating.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know Yelp gave out reviews, but I actually got an award for them for 2016 for best reviews on Yelp. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, that's great. So not just 1 year. It's like the Ford truck commercials or the whatever commercial, like 5 years in a row, right? Or you're like 3 years in a row.
I think that's Chevy, dude. I think that's Chevy. But
well, I'm not sure. Yeah. The volume's down. Usually I speed past those commercials.
Send all lawsuits to Stephen Cotton.
Well, I think that, I'm not going to talk about that now. Yeah. But yes, I'm going to be
it's
quiet
all
since it's on the air.
I'm teasing.
Yep.
Hey, I want to ask some questions here for you, Derek, and hopefully you can answer them here for us. There's a lot of things people have a lot of. It seems like with credit, you talk to 5 different people, you get 5 different opinions about credit. Especially, one of the biggest hurdles for me as a lender, and you used to be a lender. I don't know that you still do lending. I don't think you do. I think you focus really on credit, right?
No, that's my past life. I was a banker for 10 years, though, loan
Yeah.
officer, so I have a good understanding.
One of the hurdles that I always have to overcome is, the credit you're going to pull. This lender over here had this score, or this automobile place had this score. This is my score. I've checked my credit through Credit Karma. And you have to really explain how credit kind of works. So I want to kind of go through that with you. So the first thing though that I want to kind of ask you here is, what are some common mistakes that you see on a credit report? What are some of the most common mistakes that you see?
I think the biggest mistakes I see are medical collections being reported that insurance companies should have covered.
Mm-hmm.
They get sent through, and then a collection agency purchases them, and a lot of times they'll re-age the account, making it look newer than what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of balances that are incorrect. Somebody paid something down or off and is still reporting.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of mistakes on even personal information, incorrect spellings of names because an application got submitted wrong. Not that that has an impact on the scores at all, but it's important to have the correct information on the credit report. And so I would say those are some of the most common mistakes and on the report itself.
Okay. All right. So, and you can help fix some of those things, or at least point those things out. That's the thing with, I think, consumers. They see the consumer credit report. That's a completely different credit report than a lender's credit report.
Well, yeah. So it gets real confusing. You got financial credit reports, you got consumer reports, you got credit file. Credit file is actually, lenders don't even see that. Only the 3 credit bureaus have access to that. And, that's just, they know more information about us than the government does. Realistically, just a lot of people don't understand that. Answer your question before, lenders usually use a FICO 97, 98 scoring model, which Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac use. Typically, they got FICO 08, FICO 09 now. A lot of that stuff really doesn't matter. Consumer files, a lot of people are using Vantage 3.0 for that. And, insurance companies, they even use a whole different scoring model. Car companies use a financial scoring model on a FICO-based level. But, there's like 77 different scoring models out there. And so that's why a lot of people see different credit scores and different credit score doesn't typically mean a credit number. And I think a lot of people get confused with that.
Right.
Because a credit score is more like a snapshot of the credit.
Yeah. And
then the score is dictated off of that snapshot that's changing daily. And so Credit Karma, don't use that site, anybody. It's the absolute worst site that you could ever go to. It doesn't give any accurate information. It's more or less a landing page to upsell you on a bunch of garbage. So
it's the Zillow of the credit world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Good advice. Hey, the next thing I want to kind of talk to you about, you mentioned, we were talking about credit scores there. Give us a little bit of, I think there's a misconception on what makes up a FICO. And I know that's kind of a broad question. I get that. But can you kind of give us kind of I think you had mentioned in the pre-show or before the show, the pie chart, if you will, of a credit score?
Dumb it down for me. Just let's not get all sciencey, but dumb it down for guys like me.
Yeah.
Sure, no worries. So when you look at a pie chart, there's obviously bigger chunks than of the pie than there are others, and so a credit score in most levels is lowest you can get is 300. The highest credit score is 850 in most models. I'd say like 95% or more. So the difference between those two numbers is 550 points. Okay, so that's what our number is based on. When we look at a pie chart, 35% of our credit score is payment history. So it is the biggest chunk. Although what they don't tell us about payment history is, there are some other things included in those algorithms besides just making a payment on time. But obviously, the number one thing you want to do is always make your payments on time. I mean, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But the other 65% of the pie is extremely important. And, you've heard this before probably. Just make payments on time and you're okay. That's not absolute. That's completely incorrect. It's just one of the most important things to do. 30% is called credit card utilization. That's the second biggest piece of the pie. To me, it's probably what I call the golden nugget of building a proper foundation, because there's so much with credit cards that people don't realize. There's actually 3 different types of credit cards. There's like a major credit card like American Express where you have to pay it off every month. Then you got your regular credit cards, right, where you can carry a balance and make payments. And then you have a department store card like Home Depot or Kohl's, Dillard, something like that.
Yep.
Having those different types of cards, not only does it help increase your total overall available credit, but it also shows that you can manage different types of cards properly. And then, keeping balances below, you probably hear 30%. A lot of people, that's kind of like the go-to. That's not actually that great. It's okay. To build credit properly, you want to make sure you keep a balance under 10%. FICO's done scoring and testing over 20 plus years that say an individual with a 780 credit score and above has maintained about a 7% utilization rate. Now, the next step then is understanding how do you actually pay a credit card. Okay, so there's 2 different dates on a credit card. There's the due date. That's when the bill's due by, obviously.
Right.
But then the most important date, which people don't realize, is actually the cycle date, or they call it the statement date. That is the date that they report the balance to the credit bureaus. And so what happens is a lot of times, let's say that the 10th of the month is the statement date and the due date's the 20th.
Yeah.
Well, you max out your credit card, right, because you want to use points, get cash back, which is a good thing. But then the 10th of the month comes along, you're like, I'll just pay it off on the 15th.
Right.
Pay the credit card off on the 15th. Well, they already reported the maxed out balance on the 10th. So you just want to change your methodology of thinking, and start putting your balance down before the statement date, 2 days roughly, to give it time to buffer and update that low balance, because you want to be able to dictate what the balance is going to report on the credit bureaus so that you can maximize your credit scores. And then you got 15% is proper mix of credit. So that's going to do with mortgages, car loans, credit cards, installment loans, things of that nature. 10% is going to be length of credit, how long you keep an account active and open. And then the last 10% goes with like new credit and inquiries. And, inquiries really don't have an impact on the number itself. It's a big myth. I mean, little, but really nothing actually.
Okay.
That was going to be my other question. So a lot of good information in there, a lot of good information. That statement date, I think, is a critical one to the balance and how to utilize the balance and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the inquiry, too, because I get that all the time. I don't want you pulling my – in fact, I have a client right now. Doesn't want me to pull his credit because the inquiry. And it's like, well, then I can't help you until I look at your credit. I know somebody else has pulled your credit, and yes, they're in the mortgage business, but their filters may be slightly different, therefore producing a different score, and therefore I can't really use their credit report.
In the mortgage world, I mean, you can pull your credit, as much as you want in 30 days, and it just counts as one inquiry. Now, it'll show multiple after that 30 days, then it will show that you pulled your credit maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's okay. It's not going to drop your credit scores. If it does, it's maybe 1 point or something. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about like you would have to pull your credit 30, 40 times to affect it a few points.
Right.
And people are like, oh, my score dropped 20 points. Not because of inquiries.
Right.
Right. And inquiries are a misconception in the sense they don't prevent you or like I said, affect the score, but they can prevent you from specific types of loans, not mortgages. Right. Mortgages might ask for a letter of explanation, right?
Yes.
But it's not going to stop. If you have the qualifying credit score and you have the money to purchase a home, you'll be able to get qualified. But I have business funding, let's say, that I help clients with that are trying to get cash to grow their business, or they're in the real estate market and they want to do fix and flips and things of that nature, well, we offer $50,000 up to $150,000 with a 0% interest rate up to a year to 2 years. Okay, but you have to have a 680 credit score and above, but you have to have almost no inquiries. If you have multiple inquiries, that would prevent you from getting that loan. Even if you had a perfect credit score, if you have too many inquiries, you won't get funded for this type of loan.
So
because
the inquiries are like on a 12-month scale, or
yeah, so inquiries will have like some of a wait for a year, and then after a year they have no impact at all. They mean nothing, and then after 2 years they fall off.
Okay, so 2 years they fall off. Okay, good. Here's why, because I flip houses too, and I know where my credit score is at. I just don't know how many inquiries I got. So
sure. Yeah, I mean, and so I think that's one of the biggest things that people get confused with, because, you know, you can have a perfect credit score, but you can have high debt, right, and not get qualified for a loan. Somebody could have a 680 credit score, low debt, and get approved for the loan that the person that has an 850 credit score and makes $1 million a year. Money doesn't mean anything in credit. Right. You know, if you have high debt, you can qualify for you'll be able to afford the payment, then you're not going to get the loan. Right. You guys know that.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, but this is good information for the consumer out there. So now with that being said, what are some common myths about credit?
Well, you know, I think some of the biggest myths are like people think debit cards report to the credit report. You know, that's one.
Yeah.
You have, paying off a credit card to a zero balance, and closing the account if you're not going to use the card. You know, that's a big myth. You know, if you close an account, it's going to destroy, your credit, because, you know, if you have, let's say, $10,000 worth of available credit, and you have one credit card that's $5,000 limit, and you close it, now you've just reduced your available limit by 50%, right? You only have 5,000 now. I think some other big myths, in credit are just, that if you have a lot of money, right, like you said, that, you can, buy credit, that really doesn't work. A lot of, I work with a lot of doctors, dentists, lawyers, things that, they make good money, but, sometimes management is difficult because they're working a lot or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think, those are just some of the basic ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that a lot too with high-profile doctors, lawyers, that sort of thing. Management of credit, it can be a challenge for them, it seems like.
I think a big myth too is, you're having too much credit. It's not a bad thing to have too much. I mean, I have probably 20 credit cards.
Yeah.
I don't use them all, obviously, but I have them. I have almost $150,000 in available credit. Okay. A lot of people don't realize that, like, look, if you manage your credit right and properly, you can make money off of it. I mean, like, I got a city, I fly American Airlines.
Right.
And so it's like, hey, get our executive card and we'll give you 75,000 miles. Spend $3,000 in the next 90 days. We'll give you the miles. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to spend $3,000 in the next 90 days. And so I purchased all that stuff, groceries, whatever, paying my bills, and I just pay off my credit card. I got 2 city cards and I had over 150,000 air miles. Now I'm flying to Punta Cana this month for free.
You're taking me with you, right?
So, I mean, it's like,
take your favorite route.
Yeah, if you do it the right way,
yeah.
It's a great opportunity to, and I think a big thing too is people realize, well, you can max out your credit card all you want.
Yeah.
Okay. You just remember, right? You have to pay it off before the statement date, before it reports that high balance.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And you're missing out on opportunities to be able to get cash back every month, points towards mileage, right? So I say, if you have the ability to use a card and pay it off, obviously, leverage it. Make money. There's no reason to not make free money. I mean, that's
right.
Exactly. Do you have anything you want to kind of, because we got about 2.5 minutes here left, Stefan? You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I have that scenario where I have this guy. He's got a lot of student debt. I think student loan debt from about 10 years ago or so. Now he's been paying it. Maybe I know he's delinquent on it, and I know he's got a lot of money in the bank. I don't want to say how much, but it's more than most people make a year. So here in America, but What advice or what does he need to hear? Like, because I've been telling him to like maybe pay this off or talk to somebody about it and see what we need to do because he's looking to get into another rental because he can't qualify for a loan with these delinquencies right now.
Well, I think the biggest thing that a lot of people just need to be aware of is there is student loan, what we call debt relief companies. Individuals can do it on their own. It is a free service. They would just have to contact them. But some people just don't have the time or even want to mess with it. And so you can basically hire a consultant to review the student loans for you. And they help with federal and private. And based on that, there is even sometimes forgiveness where they can get debt eliminated permanently. It is income based. So the lower the income, the better possibilities you can get approved for that. But at the same time, there is ways that you can consolidate all the debt into one loan so you don't have like 18 different like little loans, and they'll get you a lower interest rate. And then you can put it in an affordable payment plan to start chipping away at it so that, it doesn't go delinquent, because that's one of the biggest things, right? People just let it go, and then 35% of our credit score is payment history, and so once one late payment goes by, you're talking about destroying your credit from 50 to 100 points usually.
Yeah,
just because one late payment.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of one of those things, out of sight, out of mind, right? I mean, that's the thing about credit. You don't really see credit until, like you said, need it, and then it kind of rears its ugly head if you ignore it. Which is why you need it. It's hard work. It's hard work, and not everybody has the stomach for it. When I tell people that they can call their own creditors are going to make you feel like dirt. They're going to make you feel pretty doggone bad. And so getting with a credit expert like yourself and your organization there can be a lot of peace of mind for somebody. So, you're dealing with it on a daily basis. You know the right approach, the right angles, the people to contact. You're not wasting a lot of time on it. Going down dead ends and that sort of thing, because they'll lead you down dead ends. These creditors will, because it's to their advantage to do so. So hiring somebody like yourself and your company and organization, I think, is a great service.
Thank you.
No, I learned a lot on this episode, more than I learned on Wacky Wednesdays.
With that being said, we are out of time. So we try to keep this to 22 minutes, hence 22 minutes with Jason and Stefan. So thank you all for being a part of the show. And thank you, Derek, for sharing your time with us today. Appreciate your
guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, your expertise today. That was awesome. That's awesome. So we do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Arizona time. So if you'd like to watch us live, head over to our Facebook page and watch us live at 9 a.m. Arizona time. That's at 22 Mins. And while you're there, like the page for us. And if you've already liked the page, share with your friends and family and tell your friends and family to like the page. We're trying to get to that 1,000 likes. We're almost there. So we're trying to get there. So please help us in that effort. Would appreciate that. Tomorrow is going to be Reflection Friday. Feature Friday. Stefan's going to send me some pictures, hopefully, of a house, and we'll feature that house tomorrow and reflect on the week that was. So until then, everyone, thanks, Derek. Again, appreciate you being part of the show here, buddy. And everyone have